and get started here in just a couple minutes, so if you could take a seat, please. So if you're with the board or the city, if you want to have a seat up front here, otherwise feel free to have a seat in the general audience. And we'll get started in just a couple minutes. So, thank you.
What names are there? That makes me nervous.
That's right. We're going to play musical chairs in a minute. So
We're gonna shift.
that's right.
Gotta shift names.
Oh, you can do whatever you'd like. They got you all in frames. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
Thank you. Thanks for being here this morning. After a minute or two. So.
It really is.
Yeah. No, we picked lucked out on the weather.
Yeah, it's like a pipe dream still. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to be right back here behind
Okay.
Pat.
Gotcha.
And then, Mayor, we're going to give you a giant scissors along with Julie.
Okay.
So,
I've done a few of them. It's been a little slow pace, but the only trick is you gotta let them get the picture.
Be a little bit into the sun.
We secured the last this morning. Here it is.
is everyone good? Sounds good. Well, good morning, everyone. How's it going? We picked a nice day for this, didn't we? My name's Joe Vandeslunt. I'm the Development Director for Olbrich Botanical Society. Thank you so much for taking some time out this morning to come on out for the very exciting grand opening of the Frautschi Family Learning Center and new production greenhouses. So we're going to have some brief remarks for you this morning, and then we're going to have the official ribbon cutting right behind us. Just some logistics for you. We have a great slate of activities prepared throughout the day. We have a couple things going on in the outdoor gardens after the remarks conclude. You can head on over to the Tower Garden, and we have a station set up that talks about beneficial insects at Olbrich. Of course, we don't like to use a lot of pesticides, so we use our friends within nature to help control the pest population. So we'll have some folks there. You'll see a lot of new landscaping going on in here in the long walk that we're calling it, and we'll have some horticulture staff stationed there as well. The Learning Center right behind me is wide open, so you can check out the first floor. There are activities throughout the classrooms, and you can go up to the second floor and see the education staff offices. And as you can see, they have the best view in the house. They even have those fancy standing desks that they just press a button, and then there you go. And there's a beautiful public rooftop deck that has a great view of Lake Monona and the gardens. We'll be putting furniture up there. Of course, just like everything else, it's been on back order for about a year. But by next spring or so, we hope to have that there. And then finally, in the greenhouses, we'll have a potting activity. I anticipate there might be a little bit of a rush to get those free plants. Please only take the plants home that the conservatory staff tells you to take home, okay? So, but you can pot them up. We got about 150, and then you can feel free to go through the greenhouses. Our staff is there available to answer any questions, tell you why your plant's not doing so hot, et cetera, et cetera. So, but we are so excited to welcome, Olbrich has just gained in reputation over the years as a beautiful, respected botanic garden, true to its mission of connecting people with plants. And we have a lot to celebrate today. This project has been 10 years in the making. 10 years, holy cow, and a pandemic to boot. Community meetings began in 2010, the fundraising in 2015. We broke ground right over there in 2017, and we finished up in 2020. And then, of course, the pandemic hit. And it's a project that's made possible because of the strong public-private partnership between the City of Madison and the nonprofit Olbrich Botanical Society. So we're really excited for this first dedicated space for education, the Frautschi Family Learning Center, and the new production greenhouses, which will allow us to care and grow our plant collection even better. So we're here today to thank all of you and the team that made it possible. And first up speaking today, I'm very pleased to welcome Madison Mayor Sachi Rhodes Conway.
Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful day. What a bunch of beautiful people. What a beautiful building behind us. I want to thank all of you for joining us. I want to thank everybody at Olbrich for their stamina over the 10 years that it took to make this happen. I want to thank everybody at the Parks Department that's been involved, and everybody who donated their time, their talent, or their treasure to make this possible. I also want to thank, we have two members of the City Council here, Alders Benford and Foster. Olbrich is in between their districts. They share it. And I also want to thank previous city leaders for starting this project. When you have a project that takes 10 years, you cross multiple administrations and many, many different city councils. So I want to acknowledge Mayor Soglin and former alders Rummel and Ahrens for their work on this as well. You know, I have talking points about why Olbrich is important and how many people come here and what this has provided during the pandemic. But you all know that. That's why you're here. I'd like to tell you instead about a moment when I was in, I think it was probably 9th grade, and I was sitting in my first high school science class and learning about photosynthesis. And I looked outside at a maple tree and I thought, holy cow, they have been doing this incredibly complex chemical process this whole time, and I didn't know about it. And that was the moment that I learned to love plants. And I have loved plants my entire life. I studied botany and ecology as an undergrad and then as a grad student. I have a master's in ecology. I worked at a botanic garden in Rochester, New York. I worked as a field hand digging up corn plants to study corn rootworm. And I thought I was going to be a scientist. And obviously that didn't work out. But I really treasure my knowledge of science and botany and ecology and the way that it helps me think about the world. And I have always loved botanic gardens as a result. I had the opportunity to do field work in Costa Rica and in Australia, learning about tropical plants. So the tropical gardens here have a very special place in my heart. And I tell you this story because it's those moments when young people have a chance to learn something about our world, whether it's plants or animals or insects or the climate or water or whatever it might be. It's those moments when young people have a chance to learn something amazing about our world that can change the trajectory of their lives forever. And that's why it's so incredibly important that we have places that young people can come and learn about the natural world. And in this case, particularly about plants. It's so important that we have spaces where we can do that educational work that will, I hope, not actually feel like learning or school, but rather just feel like fun and wonder and amazement and a chance to be inspired about something and perhaps a chance to discover a path for a career or an education or just a lifelong love of plants. And so that's why I'm so incredibly happy that we can finally celebrate this amazing addition to Olbrich Gardens. This learning center will host more than 4,000 K through 5 plant science classes. It will allow folks in our school district to come and participate for free if they need financial assistance. The new greenhouses are going to allow Olbrich to grow an additional 10,000 plants. That's really exciting. And they will add to the beauty of these gardens, to the beauty of our community, and I hope to the beauty and richness of all of our lives. I'm so proud that Madison is home to this world-class garden that's free and accessible to everyone in our community. And I am so proud that we were able to finally achieve the building behind me in this addition to Olbrich. I hope, and I know with all of your help, that this building is going to inspire young people for generations to come. And so thank you to everyone who has had a role in making that possible. And now it's my pleasure to welcome OBS past president, Julie Rupert. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor Rhodes Conway, for your leadership on this project. And thank you to all of you who are here and made time this morning to join us, both in person and those of you watching on the live stream. I'm so excited to be here celebrating this momentous occasion with all of you. My name is Julie Rupert. I'm the past president on the board of directors of the Olbrich Botanical Society. The Olbrich Botanical Society is the nonprofit partner that works with the City of Madison to operate Olbrich. The Society is lucky to have such generous members and donors that provide more than $2 million annually in support of the gardens. That support keeps the gardens free and accessible every day, while also providing approximately half of the staff and operating budget. The Society also provides special project capital support, in this case raising $6 million of the $12 million project as equal partners with the city. This project would not have been possible without the support of our community, and if you were able to chip in, thank you very much. Every single donor who contributed to the capital campaign is recognized in the hallway in the Learning Center. But I do want to take some time to thank the project's lead donors whose giving jump-started the project and made these facilities possible. First, many thanks to the Frautschi family for their lead gift and their continued support and friendship of the gardens. Thank you, Jerry Frautschi and Pleasant Rowland, the late John Frautschi, and the John J. Frautschi Family Foundation, as well as Kip and Liz Frautschi, and the Walter and Dorothy Jones Frautschi Charitable Unitrust. We have 3 board members who donated the 3 classrooms inside of the Learning Center. Dale and Lila Ann Mathwich, thank you. Dale is also a former president of the Botanical Society, and he was the chair of the Rose Garden campaign in the mid-2000s that we all enjoy. Tim and Jill Sherry, thank you for your service, Tim, on the Capital Campaign Chair and for your leadership on the board. Special thanks to your late parents, Toby and Peggy Sherry, as well, for their support of the Sherry Family Classroom. Jeff Levy, thank you for your support and for the support from your family's foundation, the Irving and Dorothy Levy Family Foundation. Thank you as well for your leadership on Olbrich's Foundation. We miss your brother Phil and congratulate you on this week's news of your family's support of the UW's new Irving and Dorothy Levy Town Hall. Thank you to Olbrich's leadership throughout the campaign, Presidents Kevin Hess and Phil Bradbury, the president of our foundation, Sandy Dollister, and thank you to our recently retired executive director who led us from the beginning to the end of this project, Roberta Sladke. Also, special thank you to all the staff who work here and work tirelessly behind the scenes. Joe, thank you for your work on the capital campaign. Dick Wagner, thank you for all of your years of service on the board, helping us to navigate the ins and outs of the city's process and your commitment and dedication to Olbrich Gardens. And finally, a heartfelt thank you to our donors who have passed away, but left Olbrich in their estate plans. Their legacy will live on in these new facilities. Vera Lee, Sue Dauberman, Dorothea Haug, and longtime volunteer Bev Schlenz. I also want to take a moment to thank all who have served as volunteers here at Olbrich. From the 600 annual volunteers that provide more than 27,000 hours of service each and every year, touching all areas of the gardens, to the volunteer board of directors for the society and the foundation. Because of the wise and prudent leadership of our boards over the past decades, Olbrich has weathered the pandemic and is ready to begin a new generation of service to our community, which includes a new generation of service for the Tropical Bulls Conservatory, which celebrates its 30th birthday, beginning this November and throughout 2022. Hello to Jack and Miriam Bulls watching us on the live stream at home. Thank you all again for your support. I'm pleased to welcome Madison Park Superintendent Eric Knapp.
Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day. We planned this October date quite well, I think. This is not average, by the way, if you look at the records. But anyway, I'm so glad to be here today for this momentous occasion of celebrating the new Frautschi Family Learning Center behind us and the new greenhouses. As many of you know and have heard, I often refer to Olbrich as a crown jewel of the park system and in the park system. And that is certainly true. Hundreds of thousands of visitors a year, thousands of hours of classes, 27,000 now hours of volunteer support. It is an amazing facility, gardens, open and accessible to all, and it is truly a crown jewel. The addition of the Frautschi Family Learning Center certainly adds to that gleam of the jewel, if you will. Sorry, I was one attempt. I tried. I'm not very good at that. But this unique project was certainly reflective of a partnership, and that's my focus today. I want to talk about partnership. The city can do a lot of things, and we do a lot of things for our community, but we can't do everything, and we certainly can't do this without the Olbrich Botanical Society, the volunteers, the Olbrich Botanical Society Foundation, the individuals who give their time and money to support this important mission and vision, right? And paramount amongst that group is the Olbrich Botanical Society staff team and the city team. In the city, we refer to our collective efforts with an approach to a betterment for all and kind of de-siloing, as I guess the term I would use. The mayor likes us to refer to it as Team City, and I do too, because we are a team. And Olbrich Botanical Society is a part of that team, and their staff do an amazing job. It's seamless. I'm amazed that most visitors can never pick out who's who. That's awesome, right? Because the service is extended to them without fail. A part of that Team City approach to this project was our partners in engineering. City engineering led the bidding and construction oversight and management on this project. That's a Herculean effort for what is the largest single capital investment in the park system's history. This $12 million investment. We hope that's not the largest forever, but for now we'll take it. That collaboration of a partnership requires a lot of work to bid, administer, and the like. Selecting the architects, MSR. Thank you, MSR based in Minnesota, and Chris Wingate did an amazing job on the design, redesign, my 27 redesign elements that I added in at the last minute. Sorry, Chris. But it is certainly a Herculean effort, and that team approach made a 10-year project and a 2.5-year design and a 3-year build and a 1 year of pain and suffering on the last details. Right? It made it work. And I want to expressly thank Randy Wiesner, because Randy was the project manager on this project. Randy spent so many hours dealing with so many tasks that were just not in the job description. right? And I certainly appreciate him and our partners in city engineering. That whole team working on this project have delivered a facility behind us. We set out, the city's mandate is we build all our new facilities to LEED Silver. And I thought we could maybe get a notch above that if we worked really hard. Randy and the entire team delivered LEED Platinum. That's pretty awesome. This facility is going to use 67% less energy in a year than we would use in a standard build. The upcycling of ash trees and the trim in the facility and inside the building, make sure to look around the windows, the casement and such, beautiful. And that's urban ash trees that have been reclaimed. They needed to be removed from the ash borer situation. If you're not familiar, it's not fun. We also have solar panels, as you can see, on the roof. The in-floor heating and cooling, the LED lighting throughout, complete and total, make this the greenest parks facility we have, and we have the pleasure to operate. On top of that, there's a 60,000-gallon cistern, stormwater cistern, underneath this facility. That cistern will collect the rainwater and provide almost 75% of the water we need to operate and take care of those lovely young plants in the greenhouse and gardens. Again, an amazing thing when we're sitting next to Starkweather Creek, right? That's just an amazing piece of it. The Frautschi, this facility, the Frautschi Family Learning Center, also did receive, engineering helped us apply for the 2021 U.S. GBC Leadership Award for the creation of sustainable, equitable, and resilient buildings and facilities. I think this certainly meets all those tests. And back to public-private partnership for a second, I would be remiss if I didn't thank former Executive Director Roberta Sladke. The challenges of working with me alone on this project were immense. The challenges of having anybody else involved had to be harder. And she navigated those waters, and we're here. And that's where we wanted to get to. I also want to expressly thank former Mayor Soglin for his leadership and guidance to me personally as we navigated the change from a $10 million project to a $12 million project. That last $2 million, we got there, and I think we did it seamlessly, but it's not easy for anybody. For our partners, it's not easy for the city, but we got there. And so I want to thank him for that leadership. It was a new experience to go ask somebody who gave you $5 million to maybe give one more. So, you learn and you grow. The many Team City teammates, again, made this possible, and the Olbrich staff in sum total, Team Olbrich, if you will. Again, the recognition for what you've been through, not just on making the project happen. I want to come back to the disruption to everything you do, right? I joked when COVID hit that Olbrich was well prepared because they've already been disrupted in sum total for the last 2 years. And it proved to be true. Olbrich, I think, responded well to the pandemic, probably because they've been disrupted for 2 years before that in sum total. And with that, I want to think about that public-private partnership moving forward, because this is certainly now rooted in growing, right? And we are that way in our relationship with OBS, and we expect more growth and development in the future, and we look forward to that. And as we transition and turn to that look forward, we'll be doing so with a new executive director. Roberta retired this summer, and we went through a national recruitment, and we found the absolute best candidate, Tanya Zastrow. She's here today, flew up from Austin. She doesn't start yet, November 1st, but she came to see us. She's currently at Lady Bird in Austin. She's previously been at the National Arboretum and at Welty, the first director at Welty in Beloit. She also served in the Peace Corps. And the part that maybe gets me the most excited about having Tanya join our team is she's very intimately connected to the national movement of connecting children to nature. The mayor spoke about the importance of this. I am firmly committed to doing everything I can do to support that mission and vision of every child in our nation, every child in our city, having an opportunity to meaningfully connect to nature. because of the core, and I say that, I love the feeling it gives me, but I say that from the science and the research and what it means and the impacts it has. If we want a better society, a more resilient society, a more sustainable society, one that can face the coming realities that are worse than the ones we're at right now with climate change, right? If we want to get there, we need them. And this facility behind us will help those kids find that meaningful connection. And I am so excited to introduce to you today our new Executive Director, Tanya Zastrow.
Hey, y'all. Just kidding. I'm not a native Texan. I'm from Wisconsin. I grew up in Waukesha. I don't have a Texan accent. In fact, my colleagues in Texas make fun of me all the time for a couple words that I say, beg. So I'm happy to be with people who speak like me. All right, so thank you. It's a great day to be here in Madison. I'm so excited. I couldn't be happier to be here. And reflecting on the mayor's words and Eric's words, I couldn't help but think, yes, I'm coming here from the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center in Texas, and I will always have Lady Bird with me now, just knowing so much about her. And I look out on all of you out here, and there's a famous quote by her that says, "The environment is where we all meet." And Olbrich is definitely one of those places where we can bring everyone together and we can all meet. It's a place for everyone to come together. And if you know a little bit about Lady Bird's history, her mother died when she was very young. And so she often said nature helped raise her. And that's where she had that affinity to nature and to plants. And that's one of the reasons she started the Wildflower Center at age 70. So you're never too old to do something amazing and big. So looking back here on our wonderful family learning center, the Frautschi Family Learning Center, our greenhouses, we're going to be able to reach so many more people and make learning more accessible. And I'm excited because, as you may know, I'm a University of Wisconsin graduate. So I came to the gardens when I was a student just down the road and used the gardens as an outdoor classroom. So now we have great facilities for outdoor learning as well as indoor learning. And it's really exciting, and I couldn't be happier to be part of the Olbrich team. So I'm very excited. I can't wait to start on November 1st and lead the way for the future of Olbrich. I look forward to meeting all of you more. If I haven't already met you, I look forward to working with you and meeting you and see what the future brings. Now I know I can see it in your eyes, maybe not your smiles, but I can see it in your eyes. You're all ready to go see what we have planned for the day. And so it's my pleasure to introduce our Director of Education, Kim North, who can tell us more about our day's activities. So.
Lower this just a little bit. Well, first, I just want to say thank you, Tanya. As it's been shared throughout our time together, it takes a lot of passionate and committed folks to work together to really make something like this possible for the community. And on behalf of all of the staff at Olbrich, I'd just like to say that we are very excited that you're here with us today and are going to be leading us in this next new chapter. So welcome and thank you. So my name is Kim North. I've had the pleasure and joy of working at Olbrich Botanical Gardens in the education department for 5 years now. I came on a really fun time with this project when we were working on the design components. And I have to say, to be part of that and think about and be able to experience how intentionally every moment that we spent thinking about how every little detail would benefit the community and enhance what we do at Olbrich was really impactful. We couldn't have been more thrilled in early 2020 when we started to finish up this building project. However, I think like a lot of people, we didn't know what was in store for us in early March. However, we did have a few field trip programs early on and had already experienced the wonderful impact that this space has. And over time, as we learned more about the public health situation that we were dealing with, we realized that the Frautschi Family Learning Center offered a wonderful opportunity, being so spacious and open, to welcome back in-person learners in in a really safe way, and at a time where people were really needing that and craving that. So that was something wonderful that we were able to do as well. So we've hosted quite a few adult classes, family classes. We have an early childhood program that happens weekly here called Little Sprouts. And then of course, we have our Explore School program, those 4,000 students. We're not back up to 4,000 quite yet, but we're getting there. A couple weeks ago, we were excited to open our doors again to some students who came back for that program. And I have to say that it was a really interesting experience to open those doors the first day and watch the little domino effect. I was noticed by one student, and then it was like this, they're here, it's really happening. And then one student to the next just turned, and they started cheering, and just that continued as they came through the building, and it was pretty phenomenal. So everyone's excited to be back. And just also taking in the whoa as people enter the classroom space is pretty incredible. And you might be picturing the children saying that, but it's everybody. It's the adults too. Same. So, and that goes for all of the, you'll notice that we have wonderful glass dry erase boards in the classrooms. Adults and children alike. That's just like a phenomenal resource that they like to use. And so we also have some quotes in the classroom so you can hear from participants themselves about what they value and how Olbrich really helps enhance learning for them. So in just a couple of minutes, we're going to cut the ribbon and let everyone in. But I just wanted to sort of reiterate some of the things that Joe shared early on. Chris Wingate is going to be in the Mathwick family classroom with activities and information about sustainability and the green aspects of the building. Our Youth and Family Programs Manager, Sarah Ellis, will be in the Sherry Family Classroom with family activities and program demos, and you can ask her all sorts of questions about the wonderful youth and family programming we do here. The Greater Madison Writing Project, which Olbrich has had a fantastic partnership with for quite a long time now, will be in the Levy Family Classroom to share information about the youth writing camps and programs that happen here at Olbrich. And you also might get to hear from some students themselves, because they did some phenomenal interviews with students at Olbrich many years ago, so you can check out some of those too. The education offices will be open. Should totally go check those out. I will say that the pandemic also offered us with a little bit of time to organize. We never had as much storage capacity as we do now, so that's been absolutely wonderful. Please check out the upper roof deck. It offers a wonderful view of the gardens. It's actually been quite amazing to hear children go up there and really see how it's opened up their eyes to what they can see in the gardens. The other day I was up there and some children were comparing the different tree types that they could see and their sizes and shapes, and so it's just really neat to see those different opportunities that are available to people now. And then please head back into the greenhouses. The conservatory staff and horticulture staff is just thrilled with what that has offered, and so they'll be happy to talk about that too. And then we have Olbrich's horticulturists that are going to talk about landscape design and the building along the long walk. And then head over to the Tower Garden. It is so interesting to hear about beneficial insects and what's going on here with those. So if you haven't heard about that, please go visit the Tower Garden. And so with that, I'd like to thank you all for coming, and we are going to get ready to cut the ribbon now. Yay!
All right, so we're going to get ready to cut the ribbon. So we have designated people that are very responsible to hold the scissors, and we have 2 official ribbon holders. Board and alders, if you want to just hang tight for a couple minutes after the ribbon cutting, we'd like to get some pictures with you all and our speakers here as well. But the rest of you are welcome to head into the Learning Center. So we'll head in right up this path and hang a left right through the outdoor classroom. So thank you. We could use them as hedge trimmers as well. Don? Which side, Joe? All right. Go by the right. No whiskers. Very important. The other half. All right, Tim. Good. We got somebody who's responsible. That's right. I'm going to get out of the way, and we'll wait just a couple minutes for everyone to snap their photos. for a couple seconds, I suppose.
Now's your chance for photos. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Come on in.
Hey, this is kind of funny because that call we had yesterday at the library about beneficial pets, I'm like, I didn't even realize that was going to be a segment here, and I'm like, I should have read that.
I didn't know either.
Because he was asking, he's like, do you think I could drop by at any time where they would be talking about insects and stuff? Like that I could hear from a horticulturist? And I'm like, I don't think so.
And here it is.
I know.
Oh well. So it sounds like you're just and I want to go to the greenhouse.
Okay, so that's
So you
fine.
want to meet like out in front, like at 11:15?
Okay.
It's
Yeah, that's
about
fine.
20 of now.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. 'Cause if I go that way